miss you half as much as I do. And I never thought I'd feel this way, the way I feel about you.
Hi everybody, good afternoon. Always rule of TV, never get the giggles just before you're going to go live on television. But great to have your company this afternoon. Hope you had a nice lunch. We did. Thank you very much, Carla.
You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome.
One of the best chicken soups we've ever tasted. Taz wants more. Please, Carla, I want some more.
No.
Right. What have we got lined up for you then? Now, this is the third and final show of the day. Earlier today at 9 o'clock, we officially launched our Dawn of Spring collection, which has been absolutely flying out the door. 80% of our available stock of this is gone. 80% in literally 2 shows, which is pretty incredible. I've got to let you know that if you want the beautiful flowers down here, the new season florals, they are hanging on in there on their own on the website by the skin of their teeth. That's what a lot of you have been choosing out of the collection. And also another very popular individual item has been the many stepper card shaper just here. Now that we still have available on its own as well at $49.99. It's 230302. But when you bear in mind that that's $49.99, you're going to get everything else for, well, under £50, which makes the value for money really, really impressive. You will need, remember, the discount code. Now, it's not there, it will be. It's CCDS10. CCDS10. If you put that in, the cost will go down to £98, okay? And that's a delivered price for you if you're in the United Kingdom, because if you spend over £50 with us, your P&P is free. There are ways of spreading the cost as well with ClearPay and PayPal Pay in 3. You can divide that by either 2 or 3 payments depending on how you want to proceed with that. But it's $98.99 with free P&P. All the individuals you'll find on the website, and importantly, that's where you'll also find the artwork, what we call vignettes. It's there for you this afternoon to print off as many times as you like, in, of course, anticipation of your dies arriving with you in the next few days. Now, always with Carnation, as soon as you place your order, the order recognition and the email confirming your order goes out straight away. They pick it, they pack it straight away, pop it in the post. You normally get it within a day or 2 of ordering. So it won't be long before these actually hit the decks and arrive at your home. Now, the main thing about this I just want to show you quickly is the versatility of this incredible central die here, the stepper die. I've got one here to show you that's using the main middle panel just on the outside, both left and right, and then the smaller, shallower panel in the middle. That's a really, really unusual way of using it, but beautiful. And this is more the conventional way of using the steppers, where you have the big panel in the middle and the smaller panels on the left and the right hand side. But having said that, this is where the versatility really comes in, because look at this. This one here and this one here, if I drop these in for you, look, if you don't use the large panel, you can use the smaller square panel to make a smaller stepper, either a left-hand stepper, right-hand stepper, center stepper, whatever you want to do. Now, all other stepper dies that I've seen in the past, you've needed like an A4 die cutting machine and it cuts it in one shape and that is it. Because all of these are components, you build up your stepper how you wish. So it's incredibly versatile. And that, as I say, $49.99 on its own. If you go for the whole collection, that will be in there and you're going to get it for £98.98, including these wonderful spring characters, the blue tit, the badger, the otter's a firm favourite, the beautiful little rabbit as well. Over here, this is where they live. There we go, that's their little dens. Down the bottom, we've got the flowers. Then you've also got these beautiful lattices that are there as well. And they're, of course, across the board for all your card making and scrapbooking. They're really useful for all of those things. So that is the main collection. I know Carla's going to go through the boards for you.
I am. Let's have a look at what you're getting in the collection. So this is that main stepper card, the many stepper card shape. So as Dave said, you can choose to have the elongated panel or the shorter panel, and you've obviously got your filigree that you can cut into or cut as layers on top, depending which way you want to go. Extra pieces of filigree as well. And we have these little panels at the side because this elongated piece is the little stepper that comes at the side of the big one. So you really get to choose any which way you want to play. And this can also be used as just kind of a DL, if you like, with a beautiful shaping to it. Lots of extra panels for you and also your sentiment too. So loads going on just in that one die. There's so much metal in that die, it's extraordinary. We move from there to your florals, which are beautiful, as always with Carnation. You wouldn't expect anything less from Carnation as far as florals are concerned. You've got your daffodils, you've got your bluebells, and you've got your dog rose here as well. We think it's a dog rose. I'm saying that very, very knowledgeably. I haven't got a clue. But they are so pretty. These are selling fast, as there's no surprise. Carnation do florals better than any
No one
company
has
I
said
know.
it's not, so the chances are it probably is.
Yes, it's just one of those amazing dies, isn't it? Then you've got the little sets here, which are the animal houses. So you've got the triangular one, which is your little mud pile. Then you've got your wooden, your little wooden house here inside of a tree, which means we can use this for that little bird as well. Lots of things to be done. And then you've got the gorgeous, gorgeous grassy little set as well. And you can put whichever animal in whichever one. I'm sure there's probably one that's meant for each, but I don't know which is which. I know as much about that as I know about flowers. You've got your little bunny rabbit. You've got the most delicious little otter. He's so handsome.
Well, Linda Wilson says, had to be done, ordered the otter along with a few others.
Yeah, of course. Then you've got the little badger here and the gorgeous, gorgeous blue tit as well. So lots going on, each one with their own map. So everything is able to make a card just out of the one shape. Super cute as bookmarks, really cute as bookmarks. And then you've got your lovely lattices, and your lovely lattices come in 3 formations. One is your grid line, one is... it's kind of that church window style. It's very pretty, very decorative. And then you've got your crisscross pattern as well. So the 3 for you to go through. They're amazing for borders, and they're amazing for textural pieces on your card. But you can also cut into your card as well as have that layered on top. So you could use it as an aperture too. Brilliant collection.
Now, we have actually got some other dies to show you that aren't in the main collection. We'll do that in a sec. Mandy Motley, good afternoon to all, she says. Linda McLeod, good afternoon, Carla, Dave and Miss Taz. Karen Vincent, hi Dave, Carla, Taz and my fellow Carnation army, she says. Hello all from Amanda Elizabeth Spriggs too. Loads of you saying hello on Facebook this afternoon. Now, in addition to the main collection, we've got, of course, the Perfect Papers, which we'll talk about in a minute. And we've also got this die set that's completely standalone and very different and very beautiful because of that.
Yeah, so this is an additional card shape for us to use. So this is your offset square. So as you can see, the square is not central. It's set down in a corner, and it's a really nice visual on a card. There's something about it. It's beautifully designed. It's got incredible filigree on it, beautiful shaped layers on it too. Take the filigree away, you can use that anywhere on the card. So you could use it in the center, or you can use it exactly as it is with the filigree and start to rotate that, so you can have your central stage, or your platform if you like, wherever you want it. And you can see just by turning that how it changes the look of your card. That will be the same no matter which way you place it. You'll be able to change the format of your card. It's extraordinary, and it's going to be incredibly useful on your crafting journey.
Now, that, if you would like it, is $29.99, 230308. Again, all about the versatility. We've got some beautiful finished cards to show you with that one as well.
Can I just, Linda Wilson said, is that 8x8 colour? No, Linda, that's 7x7. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it's 7x7. Yeah, 7. 7x7. Hope that helps.
There you go, Linda. And just to show you again the sort of card you can make with this, if I just quickly show you here, just look at that. How beautiful is that? So yes, you can incorporate it with the dawn into spring, or it can be completely different, but having that little otter in the side there, like poking out of his a little window in his house, superb. So that's one of the other dies that's in the show. And also, a lot of people have gone for this one as well, which obviously spring, Easter, not that far away. This is great. You're going to get 6 dies in total in there, outside cutting edge and the main die for the eggs, which are beautiful. Then you've got Easter, Happy Easter, yeah, Happy Easter is the sentiment. And of course the artwork for this, along with everything in the collection, is there on the website for you to print out, and it's stunning, isn't it?
It is, it's absolutely beautiful. So you can see how this is your showstopper. The shading on it is just extraordinary, and it really does stand out as a breathtaking piece. Happy Easter. It's sweet, it's whimsical, it's beautiful, it's all of the things that we need. It also has its own mat. Again, Easter cards. Think if you're sending bulk amounts of Easter cards, just cut that out twice, pop that on top, put the little sentiment somewhere on it. You've created beautiful Easter cards. Very little effort on your part just with that one die set.
Now, I want to let everybody know that although Carnation Craft cards are and can be the most exotic, luxurious cards that you'll probably ever have an opportunity to make, they are lovely. But if you're being a bit daunted by this, thinking, oh, that looks a little bit you know, a bit complicated. I don't know really where to start with this. You don't have to make complicated cards. You don't always have to make things that are really intricate and detailed. Sometimes the simplest design like this, just using this crisscross from those beautiful dies that were in the main collection, that with just a few flowers, that's stunning, absolutely stunning. This one as well, that was done by Sue Derimpel. This is also Sue's too. So this is a different card shape using an oval, but then just bringing in the bluebells and then a butterfly. And then the words Happy Easter. So again, it doesn't have to be a real kind of labour of love. You can make things relatively simply and easily and quickly, or you can go and really kind of go to town and make them as, you know, intricate and as flamboyant as you choose. But there again, the stepper dies here are just brilliant, because whether you want a tall stepper, short stepper, double stepper, centre stepper, whatever you want to do with them, these dies will make that happen. And remember, for $49.99 on its own, you can buy it. It's $230,302 if that's all you want. But the whole collection is just about another £48 more. At $98.99, you're going to get all of that collection today, and that's $230,301. But do remember, you've got to put in the discount code CCDS10. CCDS10, that will get you that £98 price tag, which is pretty amazing.
It is. It's absolutely stunning. We're going to have a look at the stepper card. We're going to go and use the shorter panel instead of the longer panel this time. So the first show this morning showed you a full demonstration on how to actually piece it together, how to glue it together. The second one was a sort of a single card, if you like, just made with the longer panel. And this one will be a stepper again, but this time made with the shorter panel. So we're trying to take you through all the different ways of crafting with it. So we've got the little one here. I love this as a little dinky card. It's ever so sweet, and I think that's such an important piece. Same principle, we're just going to pop that there and fold it over. Top one, again, your choice. You can either fold that down and join the two panels together that way, or you can cut this away on one side to reduce some bulk. That's what I'm going to do, but it is optional.
And to be honest with you, that would make a lovely, almost like a sandwich board. That sort of effect, wouldn't it? And you could put a verse in the middle of it if you wanted to.
Super sweet, isn't it? It's just really well thought out. I just like the idea of being in control myself of what I'm doing. And, you know, stepper cards, we're normally kind of stuck with what we've got, right? But the fact that we can play and choose for ourselves. Right, let me get these off. So when you're piecing these together, what I found is the easiest thing to do, keep that folded in. Just shuffle it. Don't seal it. Make sure your feet are correct and that they're together and where they should be, and then you can commit. So it's just about sort of shuffling it together at the right space, okay? That's going to get you that point. Then once I've got that opened here, I'm now going to attach this side panel. So this cuts as one long piece, and then you fold it in your center point, though that folds up and down. Up and down. Now, my best way of doing it, you're going to find your own best way. We all craft differently. I've found that wet glue is much more forgiving than red liner.
Now, I'm sure over the years you've struggled, as many of us have, with stepper cards, getting the measurements right, the scoring right. The die does all that for you. You don't have to worry about it. And the score is really, it's a really kind of flexible score line, isn't it? You don't struggle trying to crease it or anything like that.
So what I'm doing is putting a little bit of wet glue there. And turning it so I've got them both absolute, then a little bit on the back. Now I can choose which side to have this on, doesn't matter, you know, which way I choose, it depends what you want it to be. I'm going to keep that open. I'm going to make sure its feet are right at the bottom. I'm going to pair that here, make sure that is right at the bottom. So I'm using the line on my glass cutting mat just to make sure everything is aligned. Push that down, so I've now committed. And that's my stepper built. It's so easy to do. Really, really simple. And then all I need to do is just open that up and push that down.
Like I said before, Carla, this is the only time I think I've ever seen a stepper idea in different pieces. Normally, stepper card dies are big A4 dies, and that's all they do. You don't get variety.
Often when we talk about stepper cards, we say that the versatility is that you can cut the stepper piece off.
Yeah.
That's the versatility of it. It's never that you can add a stepper to it, it's that you can cut one off. This way you get to choose exactly how you want to do it with those beautiful edges, so I love it for that. What I'm going to do is just start by building up a little touch of colour on the side panel. And I'm going to do this with some wet glue, so not much, but enough to stick it. So just a daub. Right, so I'm just lifting and I'm just putting that smaller panel in, just a hint of colour. I don't want the big one, it's up to you what you do, but I like the white space around mine.
Now you can see on the screen, Taz has just put it up for you, the perfect papers, not paper, but it's cardstock. It's 300 GSM cardstock in the colourways that complement the vignettes. So if you want those today, they're only $14.99. Add them into your order with the main collection. That will be free of P&P because you're spending more than £50. Otherwise, they're $14.99 for all 48 sheets.
So hint of a tint of colour. So I've used the darker colour at the back, the light colour at the front. So we're bringing it forward. We're bringing that colourway forward. Now I can tuck that underneath, as you can see, and that's going to hold it firm. Now I'm going to start working on the main panel. So I'm going to use this one. This time I'm taking that light blue. It's such a pretty sky blue. It's ever such a lovely colour. And I'm going to bring this halfway down again. Look at that.
Love it.
Isn't that pretty? So instead of using the larger matte and layer pieces, I've used the smaller one, so I've got a bigger white border. Again, excuse me, it's just about preference and choice, but I like the big white border. It's up to us. And every time you change it, you'll change the way the card is displayed. Then I'm taking in just with a little one, just a little white.
So you get all those difference in sizes. Those dies go down very gradually in size, one after another after another. So you end up with those beautiful mats and layers.
I think as a card base, that's just extraordinary, isn't it? There's
gorgeous.
something so appealing about that. Right, we're going to take in some elements here. So these little blue pieces, which I love so much, I really love that pattern. I'm going to use two of them to create a textural background on this. And that's going to be sort of my big piece on this as far as the background is concerned, because I just think it's so pretty. And again, these have been cut with perfect papers. Just put a smidge of glue in there. Using that point.
And I said before in the first show, they look a little bit Moroccan.
They do. They have got that sense to it, hasn't it?
Love it.
Really pretty. I love the textural aspects. Now I've got one sitting at the bottom there and two at the top, and I've got the same at the other side. What I prefer to do is change them over, so I've got them. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Can you see there's
So
two
you've got
there?
the single at the top on the right.
Yeah, it's just, to me visually, that makes more sense. So going in here, I haven't got my glasses on, I haven't got a clue if I'm even hitting this at this stage.
They're on your head though.
Oh no, it's too much like hard work, Dave. Just 1 second.
I can drop them down for you if you want.
No, you're quite all right.
I wouldn't mind. I don't mind.
Hopefully
You got your
land
hands
up on
full.
my desk. It's fine. So I'm going to place that through there. Pretty as a
Love it.
picture, right?
Yeah.
So texturally, it's something really delicate, very soft, but very, very beautiful. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my daffodils here because I think the yellow with the blue is beautiful. Choices, okay? We have choices abounding at this point. I could use them on there and they would look beautiful. I could use them on an angle and they would be stunning, but to me it takes over a little bit from that. So what I'm going to do with these is actually use them in here. I'm going to tuck them in. So I don't want to go too far down because I don't want it to be dangling, so I'm going to snip some of this away. I want it to hang over the edge, but I don't want it to dominate the edge. So I'm just going to snip in and around. Snip down and up and around there. Now I'm not worried about that little on its own because it's going to be hidden, but I do want the extra flower. I don't want to, you know, lose it. So we're just making options as to where we cut.
Now remember, there's only one collection a month that gets exclusively issued on Carnation Crafts TV, and this is the one for March. This is the one that's heralding spring. When the clocks go forward in the next few weeks, we'll be on our way, so this is perfectly timed, and only 20% of the stock remains at the moment, and that's before tomorrow's live shows with Carla and Sharon tomorrow.
Got Miss Sharon in the building. So you can see how those blues and the yellows start to really flux. They're really pretty together. And I'm going to simply finish this off with this gorgeous egg, and I'm going to put it on some pin flare. Now I've decoupaged it up already with some 5mm, and I'm just going to pin flare it, so I'm raising it even higher this time, just in that central point, and then on the smaller egg there, and that's just going to sit as my absolute showstopper with that beautiful geometric behind it, all of those shapes and those florals. coming together. Isn't that so pretty?
Now remember, that Easter egg die is a separate item. It's on the screen now for you. 220, oh no, it's not, it's 230307, 230307. Only £17.99 for that, if you want to add that into your order, plus your P&P. But of course, having said that, the main collection is what it's all about. There was a tease on Facebook with Carla yesterday. I know an awful lot of you put it in your basket and checked out then. By this morning, we started with 30% gone. Now, at live, 1:20 it's 80% of the stock gone. This is the only place you can get this collection at the moment. It's exclusive to us on Carnation Crafts TV, on Facebook and YouTube. The way to order, if you go to our website, carnationcrafts.co.uk, if you go there, that was you, not me, making that noise, carnationcrafts.co.uk, you can pop this into your basket for $98.99 and there'll be no postage charges. Now, if you're in America and you want to get hold of this, we can ship it to you. If you just buy the collection, it's £4.95 shipping and handling. If you do want to go for the perfect papers or some pro paper to add to your order, then the maximum shipping and handling for you in America will be $14.95, okay? But in the UK, if you add the perfect papers into your order with this, there'll be no postage charge at all. And these perfect papers, if I just grab a card at random, let me just grab this one. Who's done this one? Barbara Trebwell. Hi, Barbara, if you're watching. Just look at the colourways on the foliage, the colourways on the bird and so on. You've got all of the colours that you can possibly think of in cardstock, whether it's your card blanks that you're making them into. I mean, we've used the mats and layers there of the perfect papers to great effect, but all the colourways in the artwork, this has been taken into account and been taken into consideration so that everything works together so well. 48 sheets, 6 colours, 8 of each, and just $14.99 is your price. 230309, your item number. Okay, now we've got another demo to go in a second. Don't forget there is also the other die, which is the offset square frame. That's been very popular today as well. You can buy individuals, by the way, if you go and have a little look on the website, like the flowers, for example, the new season florals. We've only got a few left of those. So lots of you have bought those on their own. And again, the little characters, they're available on their own as well. But the best value is to buy the entire big collection today. Right.
Stunners, right?
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Okay, so let's have a look at that offset square, and we're going to play with it in a different way this time. So we've used it as an aperture, and we have also used it on its edge in its most simplest form this morning. So let's look at it differently now. So I've got this here, just fold that back where it's scored at 1/2 inch, shuffle, place it down, card base done.
Perfect.
Then I've got this.
I don't know what it is I like about that so much, but I love it.
Isn't it pretty?
Mm.
Something about it. There's just something about it. So I'm going to use that straight onto my card base, which is quite unusual for me, but I'm going to put it straight on. I am going to use mats and layers, but he loves it.
Oh, by the way, just in case you're wondering, you can make and sell what you make. I know the artwork is very special. Nick and the team do an amazing job with all the artwork, but provided it's something you've made, a card you've made, you can sell whatever you make.
You can indeed. You've got to cut it. That's the rule of thumb with Carnation stuff. You've got to cut it. Once you've cut it, you can sell it. So you've got this really beautiful central cut in the middle of your card visually. Now I'm going to cover that now. I've used the perfect papers and I've used the offset square. Now I use the inside panels and I cut an aperture. Really pretty, really, really gorgeous. So I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to foam tape this.
I'm really worried about how much stock we may or may not have for tomorrow's show at the moment.
I know, dude.
Let's go in that quickly.
Let me place. I don't know if that's straight or not, Dave.
Looks okay. Well, I'm not straight, am I?
So placing that there. Then I've created
okay.
a second aperture here, okay? Look, what is it? Honestly, I'm like a small child. Now, I cut these apertures, obviously, with the die, and I cut them together. So can you see where I'm off kilter here? When you create your layered apertures, because I cut them together, I know that there's one way around that this will fit, absolutely perfectly because I cut them together. So just make sure you're using them in the right way. That way, I'll find it. There it is. Can you see? So it'll work perfectly. It'll be off kilter on the other sides because I cut them both together, and it's just how I can make that easier. So I'm going in then with this. Hey up.
This is the way to do it.
And then we're going to place on top.
The Carla knack.
Push, pull. And that gives me my beautiful aperture there, which I love so much. So now that I've got that, I've got these, look at these. There's something really
Beautiful.
special about that. Really special about that floral.
And there's a slight curve to it too. And of course, if it's going the wrong way, if it's curving the wrong way, print it off as a mirrored vignette, and you can then turn it around the other way so it's curving the other direction. So
beautiful. Let's go in with this around the aperture. A little bit of pin flare just to raise it. So pretty. There's something about that. And then using the reverse side, popping it that way.
So you've got a lefty and a righty.
Got a lefty and a righty. Super, super pretty. Oh.
Christine Brown says, hi Carla. Hi to Christine.
Hey Christine.
Nice of you to tune in this afternoon. Thanks for getting in touch on Facebook.
Popping that in there. Really sweet. Then I've got a sentiment. And I've got choices. So glad you are my friend. Top, bottom. I've got choices. It depends what I want to do. Now I personally want it to breathe on the top. I want my white space on the top.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to make it bottom heavy.
Okay.
But it's a really strong personal choice, which sounds dramatic, but it's true. If for me personally, when I put it there, it feels like it's frowning. If I put it here, it feels like it's smiling. I can't explain that better other than to say that's how it works in my head. I'm going to place that down.
Well, it's probably because your eyebrows are at the top and your lips are at the bottom.
It's just the way I visualise things, I think. So for me, and I love white space, there's something important about it. But then we're not quite finished because we've got to have a little character because they're so sweet. So I'm going to take my little bird. And remember, we're starting on the outside here. We're just using our ball tool just to shake this through.
I'll tell you what, if you haven't got any ball tools, they're going to be your best friend when it comes to Carnation characters, because to give them a belly, to give them roundness, to give the eggs shape as well, that's what you need.
It is. They're beautiful. I love, love, love using Carnation's ball tools because you get 8 sizes. Because obviously each has got 2 balls on, you know, there's one on either, and so you get to choose as you're crafting which one is the appropriate size for whatever you're crafting. I'm going to take his little tail and just bend it back on itself just with my pokey, just to give him that kind of in-flight look.
He's so sweet.
Isn't he beautiful? And then simply add this in. Choices again. He can either come in from this side and he can be sitting at the top. He could sit right at the top and perch. I'm going to probably put him in the centre and he's going to be heading down towards there. But I'll place him a little higher than right at the bottom, because if I place him right at the bottom, suddenly everything's fallen down on my card as if everything has tumbled. So I need him to be a little higher. So probably around about there for me is perfect for my desire. Beautiful.
Ta-da!
Really stunning collection, isn't it?
What a beautiful collection this is. Now we've got a message here from Linda Poland. Hello Linda. She says, hi everyone, really enjoying the demonstrations, loving the whole collection. The bluebells remind me of my mum's dog. Every year when the bluebells started to grow, Meg would flatten them by lying on them. She did it every year. Brilliant. Could you explain how to cut both apertures at the same time please, Jambird says.
I can, Jan. Rather than actually explaining it here, because it's one of those things where it's easier if you visualise it. If you go into the Carnation Crafters group, use the search box, the group, not the page, and put into the search box layered apertures. I did a video in there and it's sitting in that group, so you can go and see how to do your layered apertures, and it's just the easiest way I've found of doing it, and hopefully it'll help. So that's in the Carnation Crafters Facebook group. It's in there.
Superb. Now let me just give you quickly a little look at why especially this die collection here, the many stepper card shapes, why this is such a big deal and why it's so different. Rather than having one big die that cuts out a double stepper or a center stepper, what you've got are individual die sets that make up the separate components. So you can have, if I drop this in here for example, you can have the tall centerpiece on its own, like a DL card almost. You can have the short, almost like a sandwich board, like we said before. You can then add a left and a right to the stepper if you want to as well, on the smaller one, or the larger one, like this here. So talk about versatility. You can then, if you wanted to, have the large panel on the left and right and the smaller panel in the middle. So where else do you get the opportunity of having a die set like this that is giving you so much opportunity and so many options, whether you like tall cards, thin cards, wide cards, long cards, it's entirely up to you. This is going to be worth its weight in gold. Plus you're going to get all these characters to bring on Easter and spring. You've got your new season friends, the blue tit, the badger, the otter and the rabbit. Down here we have got very low stocks of the new season florals. If you want your beautiful bluebells and your daffodils, and what was the other one that we said it was?
Dog rose, I think.
Dog rose, okay. Yeah, if you want those, not many of those left on their own. They will come in the big bundle. And then you've got your beautiful lattices there as well, all three of those. Now the whole thing, complete with the set for spring little homes for our characters, all of this is $98.99. Now that is if you use the discount code. If you don't, it's going to be $109.99. So please do make sure you use this. CCDS, that's all capital letters 10. CCDS 10, that will get you 10% off. And of course, because you're spending over £50, you will get it with no P&P charge whatsoever. Plus, if you want to split the payment into interest-free instalments, you've got ClearPay, and we've also got PayPal Pay in 3 that you can use as well if you'd like to. But don't forget, if you do want this particular set, this is my top tip. If you're not going for the whole collection, at least treat yourself to this. It's CCDS 10. No, it's not, beg your pardon. It's $49.99 and it's 230302. So that's a discount code, CCDS 10. 230302 will get you this. $49.99 is your price for that. But do bear in mind, for just another, what, 40 odd pounds more, or 50 pounds more, you're going to get all of the other dies in the collection with this as well. So just go to our website, carnationcrafts.co.uk. You're right there.
A bit stuck. It's fine, Dave. Keep talking, Dave.
Carnation
Phil, professionally.
Carnationcrafts.co.uk. You can see it all there. You can see all the individuals as well. You can see the perfect papers, and that's the place to go as well. If you're maybe in America or watching us abroad, you can also order it, but of course you will have to pay shipping and handling.
Miss Taz is bringing me out in a hot flush. That's all I can say to you. All I can say. She's like, have you got another demo?
What were you rummaging for?
Miss Taz says, have you got another demo? And I'm like,
But it's in there, down there. Well, what have we got? We've got another, what, 20 odd minutes, yeah?
I'm fitting 2 more demos in. You'll have to
Two
cope.
more?
I'm going
Okay.
to do 2 more. I'm going to speed craft.
Okay.
Dave, you're going to have to drop that down, dude.
Right.
It's going to fall off the chair, and it's not the first time. Right, I'm just going to have a look at the look at. I'm too old for all these shenanigans. I'm not going to lie. Right, let's get these out.
All I can say is congratulations if you've gone for the collection. Live at 1:30, just after. 80+% of the entire day's stock has gone on this. Now, obviously, a lot of people will be watching these shows back, the 9, 11 and 1 o'clock show later on this afternoon into the evening when they get home from work, maybe. What will be left for Carla and Sharon tomorrow is anybody's guess. What times are the shows tomorrow?
12 and 2.
12 and 2. 12 and 2 tomorrow. Join Carla presenting, Sharon guesting with what remains of the Dawn into Spring.
Did you see how Miss Tishouse jumped in then,
Yeah.
knowing that I would not know the times, and she's trying to rescue me? She's a very good human. It's only because I fed her soup, that's why she's been nice to me. Right, let's get this off of here. So I'm doing the elongated, but I wanted to show you it as a 3-sided, as a triptych, if you like, rather than just 2 before we do end the show. So I'm hoping to get 2 demos done, but this one being the most important. So let me just do that, push that together, okay? So we've got that beautiful stepper shape there. Then I've got my 2 side panels, okay? So
Beautiful.
one for
Yep.
either side. So same principle.
I love the fact you can mix it up. Have a
It
left
is
stepper, right
just
stepper, centre
such
stepper.
a clever concept, isn't it? Dave, do us a favour.
Do you want another glue?
Yeah, please. You're such a good human.
I try. There you go.
Thank you.
I've got you Saturday, is that all right?
I mean, I'm on Monday, so
Sure.
he'll do. Oh, wait, is it
Monday
Monday?
is up there. I'll get you Monday.
I mean, it'll be wrong tomorrow for Miss Sharon, but that's
There's
good.
less
We
in
can get
Monday.
Miss Sharon in trouble.
I will forgive Miss Sharon.
Yeah, you so have favourites, Miss Taz.
There's not much in Monday.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine, dude. I'll have Saturday.
There you go.
I don't think I've ever got the right glue bottle yet, but accidentally I have today, which is quite exciting. Right, so a little bit on this side too.
The everyday glue will be on the website as well. Loads of other bits and pieces and tools and so on, like ball tools, that'll be on the website too. If you're looking for something specific, have a little look.
So all we're doing is just making sure those feet are at the bottom. This is why we use wet glue, because it's a little bit more forgiving. Pop it down onto that line, push, and you've got a beautiful, isn't that so gorgeous?
And that looks like you've walked into a stately home bedroom with ornate, beautiful furniture and stuff like that, doesn't it?
Right, word to the wise while I'm explaining this, because it took me a while. See how on here it's got a square edge at the bottom and at the top it's a curvature? That matches in with that.
Ah.
Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
If I put t'other one on, and I might have done it wrong last time, if I put t'other one on, it's not quite right. Do you see where I'm coming from?
You can get away with it though.
Yeah, you can get away with it completely, but it's just a little note if you're looking for perfection. Right. Just placing down those gorgeous sky blue colours that are so pretty. Take this one off. Hey up.
I suppose Easter is probably, what, the second or third most needed cards of the year. Birthday's probably second to Christmas. Easter maybe third?
Yeah, I would have thought so. Christmas being, birthday's probably as in the most frequent that we send. Christmas being probably the most that we send.
Yep.
And then Easter would come in at a close third, yeah. I like sometimes doing cards just because.
Yeah.
Not for anything.
Not for anyone, just because you like the composition, like the process.
The crafting and the playing, the doing.
And don't forget the vignettes, the artwork. You know, Carnation are so generous because they give you that artwork free of charge to print off now on the website. Just search for the downloads and the vignettes and you'll see them there. And you can have single vignettes if it doesn't matter whether the back's coloured in or not, just do single, save your ink. If you want to have a double vignette, so you've got a back and a front or a left and a right, then they're there for you as well. They're also free of charge and there's background papers you can print off too.
It's all there for you.
Yeah.
I'm just taking these and creating my tabs. Hey up. Ooh, I got a little bit of anxiety when that happened then. Let's have a go. Just on here. Push, pull.
I wonder how many of you are actually crafting at the moment with Carnation craft kits from previous shows. Maybe that's all you buy is Carnation.
I think there are a few.
Yep.
I know I've read some in the group.
I mean, once you actually, start to invest in a company and in a collection or a brand that you just adore everything they do, you just can't keep coming back for more.
Well, added to that, I think when the customer service is so good as well, because it gives us confidence and trust in the company that we're spending our pennies with, right?
Well, we also had loads of messages backing that up actually in the earlier shows today saying, I second that, customer service is second to none. If ever you've got an issue, just contact customer services through the website and they'll get straight back to you and rectify any issues.
This is a really sort of pared back simple design, by the way, because I think with that there's a lot already and I think it's so pretty. What we do need to do with this stepper, of course, is bring down our step parts there. It's so clever, isn't it?
Mm. And 350 GSM for construction.
Always 350 GSM if you can possibly get away with it. It's just going to give you that strength and support when you're creating. And just give you the confidence in that, whatever you put on top, the card is going to be able to hold that weight.
I don't know why, but just looking at that, it was making me think of the animated film Beauty and the Beast, where kind of the furniture and everything kind of jumped into life. The carriage clock became a character and all that sort of thing. It just made me look at that and maybe think of that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know? No, okay.
I'm one of those weirdos. Janine says that carnations are the only dyes she ever uses now. Carnation all the way for Linda Wilson as well.
Brilliant, Linda. Nice to know.
I think because you always know it's going to come out nice, right? And I think that's such an important thing when we're crafting, because you don't have the headache of... It's the one company I never sort of sit and have a brain fog with. I always know I'm going to be able to produce something stunning.
And also, they're always going to come up with something different, something new, like a new twist on it, like with these stepper cards.
So I'm just placing these on the little side pieces, just tiny visual. Isn't it pretty? It's just so gorgeous. And then that little set, the little wooden set, like I was saying, I've chopped half of it away, so I'm just going to use it as a little branch for my bird to just fly. And I'm working fairly centrally at this point. We're going with some symmetry. So I'm just going to place that at the bottom. Shape him out just very quickly.
Here comes the ball tool.
You know, it's my trusty friend, Mr. Dave. I just think it makes such a difference.
And there's 4 ball tools in the set, but they've each got 2 balls, one at each end. So there's 8 in total in the range.
And that is so dense, that foam mat, so you can get a really good push on your card.
Does that come with the ball tools then?
You can get a kit, I think, with both of them in it. It just stops your paper from creasing because it's really dense foam. So it hasn't got a lot of give. If you get a foam mat that's got a lot of give, obviously what's going to happen is your ball tool's going to indent your paper and cause a crease in it.
End up going through it probably too.
Yeah, especially if you're me. I'm not exactly light-handed. So I'm just going to pop him sitting uponst his twig. One last piece just to finish that flourish and just to bring it in.
Let me just reach over and grab this card. I just want to show another option in a sec. So,
a little blossom just to sit at the bottom of that tree.
That is amazing.
How
Isn't it
pretty
beautiful?
is that? Fresh, clean, beautiful lines.
And that also gives you a really good idea as to why you need the perfect papers as well, because it is the tone of the colour that's been used is going to work with the vignettes, the colour in the bird, the colour in the flowers. It all comes together with the perfect papers. So well worth adding that into your collection as well. I just want to show you though, the main panel that Carla's just decorated there, that vertical panel, this is the same panel but used horizontally. And it looks completely different. And we put a couple of the otters there side by side. Now that's the prime use of the double-sided vignette. So you've got one looking slightly one way and one looking slightly the other way. You've got all that beautiful artwork that is free for you to print off right now on all of the paper that you've got at home, or pro paper if you've got that. If you need some of that, that'll be on the website of course as well. Now just quickly to recap on what we're looking at here today, it's the Dawn into Spring, which launched officially at 9 o'clock UK time this morning, and we're now nearly 5 hours after that now. So we have got less than 20% of the entire stock remaining, and this is the only place you can get it. You can't buy it anywhere else. Exclusive to us at Carnation Crafts TV for the time being. So you're one of the first people in the world to actually have this. You're going to have the game-changing multiple use stepper card die system, which is available separately for just under £50, £49.99. That's 230302, but it's in the bundle today. With that discount code, you're going to get that 10% off, taking it down to £98.99, and that is CCDS 10. That will get you 10% off the entire collection, under £100. But you've got the characters, you've got the beautiful new season florals, which are about to sell out individually, I've been told. You've got your little houses where they live, the set for spring. So you've got the little mud hut, you've got the wooden trunk hut, and you've got the foliage down there. And then you've got your gorgeous, gorgeous lattices just there as well. So the whole thing, brand new today. It's called Dawn of Spring. And if you want to add your perfect papers into your order as well, we'll add that in, and that will be $14.99 if you want that, and free P&P of course if you are buying it with the main collection, because you're spending over £50. There we are, $14.99, 230309, perfect match, 48 sheets in there as well. Now, we've got enough time, hopefully, to do one more demo.
We'll do another demo for you. I'm going to do a DL for you. And what's really exciting is when Miss Sharon and I go to air tomorrow, lots of you will already have this through your door, and I think that's incredible. So I have used the DL here from the Hessian nested edges, because I love the little fabric type edge on it, and I think it works really well with this collection. I think they all do. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Made my card base with that, and then I'm going to go in with a couple of mats and layers. And again, we're stripping this back. We're going to do a fairly naked card. which I love.
Now, Jane Smith has messaged us a few minutes ago. She says, I've got 19 birthdays in March. Wow. Carnation is just fantastic, she says, and I now look at other companies and think, I can't do better than with Carnation. Day off today, have been crafting this morning. Yeah, good luck with all those birthday cards, Jane. And then Fifi Soleil says, hello, Carla, Dave and Miss Taz. Stunning collection, can't wait to get it. Lots of you watching us in the UK, but quite a few watching us abroad as well.
I think Fifi has the best name ever.
I know, Fifi Soleil.
It's
I like
just
that.
such a great name. Right, I'm just going to pop this down. Place, push, pull.
Seems
Look at
like
that.
Fifi should be on the stage really with a name like that. Should be
Such
like,
a great
name up in
name.
lights.
Yeah, literally. it's
Ladies and
such a
gentlemen,
great-
Fifi Soleil.
I'm sure Fifi's at home going, what are they talking about?
What's he on?
Please stop saying my name. Right, so we've got these gorgeous Hessian layers here with that beautiful duck blue. It's so pretty. It's really gorgeous. And it's got that sort of shabby fabric design about
We
it.
did those dyes a couple of months ago.
We
didn't
did, yeah, and I love them.
me too.
I've got a real kind of thing for carnations nesteds. They please me so much. Fifi says, I am laughing right now. Thanks, guys. Fifi, thank you for taking all of that in good fun.
Oh, bless you.
I'm pretty sure your name has never been said so many times in one sentence. I do apologise.
Wendy Candy says, hi all, I love this new collection and had to have it. Great demos, Carla. Thanks for Dave for helping me spend my cash. It's my pleasure. That's what I'm here for. Watching from France. There we go. So, yeah, an international audience. Very nice.
I wish I was watching from France. Well, no, because then I wouldn't be here. But you know what I mean with
know
the
what you mean.
things.
Actually, we could be doing it in France.
We could.
could.
Let's put that
All we need is an
to
internet
Carnation.
connection. Yeah.
Bonjour, ça va? That's about
Oui.
as much as I know. I do have an A-level in French, but it was a long time ago, many moons ago, when God was a lad, as my father would say. Yeah, right. There's the little badger house. Now, what can we do with this? Well, lots of things. You've got a panel that sits here at the bottom. One of the things that you can do, if you're careful with your foam tape, you can lay another one as well. And so you can have a distance between the two of them. You can put a little foam tape there as well. Bless you, Miss
Bless
Taz.
you.
So you can build up an actual little tunnel that they sit in, which I think is super, super sweet. Lots of different ways. It can be cut into to create grass. You've seen me do that already today. So a ton of different things that we can do. As it is, I'm going to use it in the set as it wants to be, and then I'm going to raise the flowers going above. Now I don't want my stalk or my stem sitting on top of that grass, so I'm going to put that on last and make sure that as I'm putting the card together and creating that card, I don't kind of get them muddled up. I think what I'm going to do is work it on a curve and work it that way, so I get that line from the grass going round onto that rose bud rather than just have it straight. I'm not keen on everything being in set lines. Everybody's different. It's just not something that I love, but I've got to keep that in place because I know that that's where it's going to sit, so I want to sit this behind it first, and the only way I can do that is to know where it is.
Now, I don't know if we've talked about this today or not. I don't think we have. When you're printing off the vignettes,
Yes.
you recommend Pro Paper?
Pro print every single time,
Right.
because
That's on the website.
it is, yeah. There's a massive difference between Pro print and normal print, and the difference is such that your quality of your card is completely different. So Pro print's your best friend.
So we don't actually have Pro Print in the studio, but it is on the website if you want to order it. It seems a sin to kind of print onto inferior paper and not be happy with the results. You don't need an expensive printer, just decent paper.
If you've never used Pro print before and you think, well, I'll give it a shot, I'll have a little go, that's very, very awesome. Just make sure that, well, listen, my advice, that's the best I can say, is if it's your first time for using it, you fancy your go at doing the double vignettes with it, get a 120 GSM, because that's the one you need to have your fold on, because it comes out at a 240. Right, just placing my little grass set there.
His little hut is so sweet.
Isn't it so cute? Just that floral, because the geometric is what's bringing it together. And then I'm just going to use my ball tool here. Now, that floral is going that way. So I've got choices here. I can either bring his bottom down to finish that round, or I can bring his bottom this way to bring it round as almost like an S in that way. It's up to you, but it's going to make a difference to your design. So if I place him here, you see how my lines go round?
Mm-hmm.
If you think of a pencil line going around these, it creates that form. Whereas if I put it this way, I get a sort of an almost semicircle. So those are the things that we look at in composition.
Karen Vincent says, would love to be able to attend a workshop where we could all meet up and do everything Carnation. Would be in my element, she says. You can't make a bad card with Carnation. Thanks everyone at Carnation for these dies. Do they do workshops?
No.
Maybe we should.
It would be ace. I'd love to do a workshop.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You lot could workshop me. I could sit and drink brews and you could show me the things. That would be very exciting.
Well, you suggest it to the guys, see if that's something that could work, I think.
It'd be good fun. We'll get Miss Tiz Taz out. She can video
Get a venue. We could film it. That'd be good.
I'll be too busy looking after her.
True. That would be good though, wouldn't it?
It's
if
a
we
full-time job.
had a couple of hundred people in a big room doing Carnation as a workshop and do a show from there. That'd be good.
Be brilliant.
Let's suggest it.
So we've got the little badger here. Now I'm putting him at this side because I like the S line going round. So I like the idea that his bottom follows that. And it's just the different ways of looking at your composition and how you put it together. If you feel uncomfortable with the fact that you've got sort of extra areas there, you can of course fill it in with more blossoms. You can take some more blossoms up just by using your decoupage elements. It depends how you want it to craft. You can put some down at the bottom to add in another element down here. So you've got it sitting over, so he's almost hidden behind that blossom, which is super, super sweet. I'm happy with the white space. White space allows it to breathe. I've got a lot going on here. White space just allows the artwork to kind of sit on its own, be in its own element, but I will put a little one here just so he's hiding in his little house just behind.
It's like he's
that
bringing a little bouquet for you. There you go. That is
the only man that will.
Absolutely superb. So if you fancy that, if you fancy going for the collection, it's the dawn of spring, remember, and it won't be long before it will be spring. Clocks go forward, I know, in a couple of weeks' time. I think it's 2.5 weeks' time, something like that. We're approaching limited stock. That's where we're ending the shows for today, with just over 10% of the entire stock remaining. That is all. Now, bear in mind, lots of people watch back the 9 o'clock later on, the 11 o'clock later, and this one can be watched back later on YouTube and Facebook and so on. So there are probably going to be more and more orders coming through as the day goes on. But they're going to be back tomorrow. Carla, Taz and Sharon will be here at 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock with more updates for you. But in the meantime, if you don't want to risk running the risk of missing out on them, just head to the website carnationcrafts.co.uk. The main collection is everything that you can see there. Basically, the hero product from my point of view is the stepper card, because you've got all those different sizes of panel to make the stepper the way you want it. Big, small, tall, short, whatever you want to do. Then the characters, then their characters' houses, then the flowers, the new season florals. They're limited stock as well, if not nearing a sellout. And then we've got the wonderful lattices there as well. And don't forget the other 2 die sets we've got for you today, not included in this, separate. We've got this, which is the offset square frame, which is $29.99. And then we've got the Easter decor, and again that's only $17.99 if you want that one. And again, all the artwork, the vignettes, print them off now from our website, absolutely free of charge. And the guys in the warehouse at Carnation will be sending this out in the next hour or 2 if you place your order now, coming up to 2 o'clock this afternoon. Thank you for inviting me back, Carla.
What, me inviting you back?
Well, yeah, well. Thank you,
to
Taz.
me, Dave.
Thank you for lunch. It was gorgeous.
Thank you for having us, Dave.
I'll see you on the 11th of next month, but Sharon and, of course, Carla and Taz will be back tomorrow with more demonstrations on this fantastic collection. Enjoy Dawn into Spring.